Sheron, thank you for joining me. It's really great to have you here. I appreciate it. There in Johannesburg.
Great to be invited. Thank you.
Thank you. And I love your studio, the look behind it. There's
Thank you.
guitars. You've got a piano there.
Mm.
You're a multi...
It's much nicer this side, but I'll have to turn the camera around.
There you go. It's interesting for me to speak to a multi-instrumentalist, because how many instruments do you play?
Besides the full, I do a little bit of piano, very entry kind of mid-level. And guitar is my main instruments, and bass, and drums, and sing.
And sing, so that's another one.
I bought a violin, but I can just scare the cats away with that one.
The violin is a tricky one. You're originally from Israel, aren't you? And
I am.
You've had an interesting story how you started to play. The drums, was it the first instrument that you investigated?
Piano at the age of 9, actually. And then I kind of like walked into a room, I think I was 13 or 14. I walked into a room, there was a drum kit. And kind of like just sat behind it and made some noise. And fell in love with that. And then played all the way into the army days. And then I broke my legs.
You broke your legs?
Well, yeah, left leg was badly broken, and the right one was also affected, and I couldn't play. So I kind of like strolled to the music shop and bought a pink Strat cover, not cover, what you call it, copy.
Yes.
And fell in love with the guitar.
It's amazing how one falls in love with one instrument, you know, and that's the thing, because you also worked for a major music company in Israel. We're glad that you're here in South Africa.
Me too.
You've had a very, very crazy career. I mean, it's been a whole landscape. You also worked a bit in Hong Kong. Am I right?
Yeah, I lived there for about 4 months, yeah.
How was it?
Different, very different. I mean, Hong Kong is built, it's just cement. There's very little trees, very little landscapes. Yeah, they got a little botanical garden that you literally sneeze twice and you've gone through it. It's very modern. It's very, very, everything fast-paced, everything really built well. Crazy nightlife. You cannot you can't spit without hitting a nightclub with a brilliant 6 or 7 piece Filipino band.
Wow.
And then we go into town itself, there's even more diversity. Even found another South African band playing there, half South African, half American actually. And it was and everything is very small and very expensive. So we got a 3-bedroom flat that is smaller than the space behind me.
Okay.
And it was kind of like weird, because the guys that are my band at the time, we used to just I pick them up on the way to the gigs and off we go. And if we do get to stay somewhere, it's like a guest house or whatever. This was like close quarters, very, very claustrophobic kind of place. And it was very enjoyable from what we did there, because it was like really, really good. But it was on the other hand, it was very difficult to be away from the family, away from my home, and in close quarters with 2 other guys that you find a different habits of people when it's a different environment. Living with someone, being with someone on the road for the weekend, and living with someone for months in a small place, it's different. But we survived it.
How long was this, if you don't mind me asking? How long
we were there from, I think, February 2004 to May or June, I can't remember. Long. So 3.5, 4 months. They wanted us to stay longer, but we just needed to come back home.
It comes a point, and I think also one doesn't always realize that, I mean, the performances you did, probably over 3,000 performances that you did in Hong Kong with the band.
Not with Hong Kong, with over the year span of the band itself. Um, I mean, we played that club every night, 6 nights a week. And you start at 8 o'clock and you end at about 5 in the morning. There's another house band, so we kind of do a set. They'll do a set. Sometimes we do 2 sets and then do 2 sets. But you have to play at least 3 or 4 sets. Another band 3 or 4 sets. And then if you want to rehearse, it's 5:30 in the morning when they kick everybody out. And you have 45 minutes because the art shop next door opens up at 7. And then, you know, they can't trade if you're making a noise. So that was but it was nice, and you know, it was really nice.
I can imagine it's nice. It's just taxing on the body and the mind.
No, we were. I mean, I was the youngest in the band at the time. I was 2004. I was 31, and I mean, for me it was great. I actually wanted. I would have wanted to explore more, but it was kind of tough on everyone. I think it was just a mental thing. And we, you know, they flew us to China at the beginning of the contract before we even started playing at the club. They flew us to China, and we did the 2004 Australian Ball because one of the club directors is related to I think his parents or something were higher ranking officials at the Australian embassy. In China, and that was a blast because we didn't sleep for 4 days, and it was crazy. I have this. We got there just at the end of winter, and Hong Kong, China, mainland in China goes between -20 to -40. Sure. And we landed there just as it started kind of climbing above zero, and we got there midday. And myself and the drummer were smokers. I was anxious to get a cigarette because it was, I mean, the plane was doing that. It was the scariest flight ever. And we kind of like, we were wearing t-shirts, and those doors open up and it's -3, and it's like this a punch in the face. And I've never smoked a cigarette in one drag, you know. I mean,
wait.
And yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy windy kind of like experience, but I mean, we had mega fun. I mean, we started the evening with, like, I think it was like Save Tonight, and 1,000 dignitaries just all stood up, and it was just a mega success evening, and I'm very proud to have done it.
I think really... so. Well done. I mean, it's also an appreciative audience, you know, because you did a lot of cover songs as well back then, as well. But you collaborated with so many interesting artists as well, Watershed being one of them. Do you want to tell me a bit about that collaboration?
Also a crazy story.
Yes, I like stories that are crazy.
I came back from, so off the bat, I'm not a drinker, okay?
And just to make that clear to everyone.
I barely ever touch alcohol, and I was doing a function for Brand House, from all, you know, things. I was their kind of go-to guy. And I was doing this function in Krugersdorp somewhere, and I did drink because they make you drink. So I kind of like slept in the van when we finished the function, packed up and slept in the van. Kind of woke up at 6 o'clock, drove home, got into bed, slept at 7, and at 7:30 my phone rings, and it's Craig Hines, and he goes, "Hey, dude, your name came up from you know, common friend or whatever, the guy that was playing with him, Nick Rush, the guitarist, and can you like get on a plane tonight or the next morning, whatever, and just play with us and come tour with us for a while?" We kind of like lost 3 key members. I went, okay, cool, and they came to my house and dropped off a DVD, and we discussed the fee, and I sat on the bass, and I think that night or the early next morning, 3-4 in the morning, we kind of like got on a plane and flew to Cape Town and did this mega function and toured with them for a few months. And it was also like a big roller coaster, because with Watershed, there's not just like, it's not like a band gig that you just pitch up and plug in. It's we travel with tons of equipment, with a piano shell, with carpets, with all these dangling lights, and there's a road crew and a road manager, and oh man, it was a very good lesson on how it's done on the top tier, how things are done on the top tier level of entertainment. And it was humbling and a great experience.
Can you imagine, because you're almost an outsider that has to fit into this band now. You are a session musician that has to fit in with these guys that's known each other for how long? And now you have to make it work. That's crazy. Well done.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you. Yeah, it was great. I mean, music, I always say that music is a universal language. And as long as you can kind of like make yourself fit in without, it's like, this is universal for hello.
Yes.
Where this is universal for no.
Yeah.
So if in music, it's kind of like works the same. You don't have to, as long as you can understand the language, you can kind of fit in even without knowing all the nitty gritty of the,
It's nice that you put it that way. Because firstly, if we look at you doing covers, obviously, that you've done, I just wanted to ask you the landscape of being a working musician. It's not the easiest thing. You find yourself going to Hong Kong, playing with Watershed, and we'll talk about your album in a moment, your original work that I really love.
Thank you.
But it is quite a tricky thing for musicians to know these covers, to be professional in their jobs, and then having to fly to Hong Kong or places like that to make a living. And how do you think the landscape has changed a lot? It's still the same? Or,
no, it's not
it's
even,
crazy,
not
yeah.
even, not even
It's
nearly
not even
the
close.
same. So let's start with, first of all, most of us are now forced to work as smaller form factor entertainers. So either one-man band, two-piece, or whatever, for a number of reasons. Number one, money. The money has changed.
Money has changed, eh?
Yeah. I mean, we're probably getting paid similar money today as we did 20, 25 years ago. And we have to spend 20 times what we had to spend 20 years ago. So I'm not complaining. I make a good living.
You're not complaining, but a lot of musicians would agree with you.
Yeah. And now the venues have changed dramatically, where we are now forced to, or most people consume entertainment on a phone or, something to that extent. And I walk into a venue and people are like, oh man, we just want to talk. Back in the day, people wanted to go out to have a good time, people went out to dance, people went out to party. They still do that, but it's usually, and most of the venues now, it's to some degree, there's a volume limit, either from the venue itself or neighbors.
Complaining people.
Yeah. And I mean, I was playing at the venue for years and years, and I still play there now over a decade. And excuse me. And there's a lady across the road that keeps on sending emails, and she even sent municipality and cops and everything with the volume meters, what you call it, dB meters, complaining there's like this concert level, and the police comes in and is like, oh wait, that's not as bad as but she's a nuisance.
I wish people would realize that you are allowed to perform till a certain time. And could they just take it on a Friday or Saturday night?
Because this is 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, but you're killing entertainment. There's always that one person that keeps on phoning. And why do you think you're that important? Put on some, I don't know, just deal with it till 11 o'clock.
My answer is turn up your TV.
Turn up your TV.
Or come join us.
That would be better.
Be
nice.
I've even offered, specifically in that venue, I said to the owners, the managers, I said, can we not bring her here? Yeah. Tell her to come in once. I used to play there every Sunday for years. I'm now doing occasional Fridays day. And can we not just get her here once a month on a Sunday when I was playing? I will pay for anything she wants to eat and drink. Just please shut up.
Listen, the thing is also what I feel about people like that is they can come to the venue themselves. They don't have to call numerous things and cause numerous trouble. I think it's a little bit childish, in my opinion. I think it is good to come over and just give it a listen, because entertainment is already in such a tricky area.
I played actually across in the same parking lot, in the same little shopping center. There's another venue that's been there even longer than that specific venue, and I played there 2 weeks ago, and I had a discussion with the owner as well, and because he's a big rock fan, and
Yes.
he said to me, we're gonna start kind of like soft and ballady, but as people drink, we're gonna bring it up. And then he's sitting right in front of me, and he keeps on saying, okay, bring it up now. Now I want Metallica, I want Guns N' Roses, I want this.
Yeah, I wish I was there.
That was great, right? And then I had a chat with him, and I said, well, what about the neighbors? He says, all these, and there's probably about 4 or 5 complexes around. He says, I was here first.
Good for that guy.
So he says, it's not my fault you built a complex, or you went to live in a complex where there's actually 3, if you in a kind of like a triangle, there's 3 venues really close to each other, all making a noise one way or another.
But the thing is, it's not a thing about being inconsiderate from your side as an entertainer, but as you say, you bought a restaurant or you bought a club or whatever, and there are places around it. So it's not that it's inconsiderate, it's almost a little bit inconsiderate to make that call. I would think twice before I do it. I have to agree with you.
It's damaging our income.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Yeah.
The sad truth is, and that is something that's been proven over years of my existence in this business, is that you need to pump the volume for people to, feel it. Yeah. If you're going to play background music on something as soft as your phone, people are just going to...
Imagine playing Scorpions, Rock Me Like a Hurricane. Like, here I am. You want to hear the power behind the music. Maybe you should go serenade to that lady.
Yeah. It's funny enough that I got her contact details, but I'm not a malicious person, so
well, you just send her flowers every year.
Yeah, people, funny it is that people now take it as passive aggressive.
I don't.
Even if you phone, hey, I'm Sheron, I've been playing at Hogs for so and so years, and she's gonna go, why are you calling me? Well, I've had if people take things, if she's the kind of person who complains about. By the way, she used to complain about Monday afternoon people sitting on the balcony talking.
But I'm thinking she must possibly go find another place. But I do know that it's I suppose for that personality type, it's really hard to get through with them, and then it's best maybe just to leave it and wait. But it is. I do agree with you, because it's a big problem for venues as well, because they want to book musicians, and then it's this sound complaint thing, which I understand. But I think till a particular time in the evening, it is appropriate on a Friday or a Saturday specifically to play your music at a specific level. Look at us carrying on about this now, because it's important. It is important.
It's so important. I mean, I played at many venues where sometimes one of my agents supplies sound, and his tech guys kind of keep it under bay, and every now and again he asks me if I can bring my own sound. And then I'm not talking about blasting people's ears off. I'm talking about just it's got to be relevant to what you want to create. So the first set is usually sit down, chat, people have something to eat, a couple of drinks. On the second set, you bring up the tempo a little bit. On the third set, I'm talking about like an afternoon on a Saturday. So by the time I finish my last set on a Saturday, it will be anything between 5 or 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, depends on the venue and the time. And people are in a good mood, and people want to, sing along and dance maybe or whatever. And if you're going to play at the same kind of like background music level, you're not going to achieve it. So,
but I'll give you an example. I'm not a big, I appreciate sport, but I'm not that keen to go sit in a place when the rugby's playing. For me personally, it starts to annoy me, but I can't complain because it's a sport.
Yeah,
I have to leave, and it's a celebration. You can't tell people turn down sport. The Bucks are playing, Springboks are playing,
Yeah, look, I mean, any important game, we always get asked to wait. So we usually play a little bit before the rugby, a little bit after, sometimes in the break. And that's unfortunate. That's the reason why I will never be considered a rock star in this country, because rugby comes first. But it's fine.
It's fine. It helps you.
You resign to that fact, that But what's nice about it is that usually if the Bucks are playing and they win, it's a big party, and then I just straight after the whistle tone, I just give it horns, and people are in a great mood.
And they're in a great mood as well. If they lose, it's a bit of a problem.
Then they drink for other reasons.
Listen, how often do you perform a month approximately?
Most of my weeks are on average week is 3 gigs, sometimes 4.
Sure. Okay.
Last week was 4. This week is 3. And on a really good week, it could be anything between 5 and 8, even 9 gigs. Depends on so many factors, you know.
And the scene in Joburg, I suppose, is different to Cape Town, is different to Durban, but still, you know, I think musicians are performing a lot. You're lucky you're performing 3 or 4 times. I think a lot of the venues are so fully booked. Some musicians tell me they're really struggling to get a space to perform in. So it's nice if you perform 3 to 4.
Yeah, we have
times.
a lot of venues. Yeah, we have a lot of it. First of all, I have to say about the scene in Cape Town, it's amazing. That mini tour that I did in January.
Yes, you were here, and you played at a lot of spaces.
It was, you know, I mean, the people in Joburg, I think in Joburg, it's they're just so used to having a type of entertainment. And then I think what I offer is a little bit different. I don't want to say you can't say you're better than anyone. I'm just saying.
No, you just have a different sound.
I offer something a little bit different, and there's a big entertainment value with it, and my selection of song is so big, and I think people really appreciate it. I almost felt like it was like the first time I stepped off like in a place that never heard music, you know. And I think the music scene in Cape Town is way bigger than Joburg. Just
big, yeah.
It's a little different than Joburg in certain ways. And obviously, when you've been performing in the same kind of area for 30 years, then people kind of know you. So you become kind of like furniture. People appreciate you, but
Sheron, you're not furniture, but you know they know people, and it's
I'm big enough to be furniture.
Listen, let's talk about. We've spoken about you performing. That lady that called. Let's talk about your album, Goodbye My Love, because your sound. You've got an incredibly smooth sound. There's the guitar sound. It's a little bit Santana for me in terms of how it comes together. It's smooth listening that you've done. There's piano, there's guitar. How many instruments have you played on the album Goodbye My Love? All of them. Okay, I was going to ask that. Every single one.
Every single one, yeah.
That's insane.
It's what I do. Fortunately and unfortunately, you know, in today's world, you have to be that guy, you know. And to do an album in today's climate of budgets, you know, there's always something you got to spend money on something. But you know, if I had to hire session musicians,
no, it's impossible, you know, right now.
And I've always looked up to guys like Prince and Sting that were and Lenny Kravitz that can play all the instruments, and in many cases they've done their whole albums. They just go on the road and they hire musicians, one way or another. And it's always spoke to me as like, hey, this is something that, you know, I'd like to try to do, is to be playing a bunch of different instruments and put it all together. So it kind of like all came together one way or another, you know.
It's a compilation, I would say, of six songs. Am I right? Eight songs. Sorry, my apologies. And it tells a story a little bit, doesn't it?
So I had about 30 songs over the years, because I started compiling this album in the early 2000s, and following a not so nice breakup in middle of 2024, I decided it's time to put this to rest. So I wrote a couple of extra songs, one with my son, is that hip hop.
I wanted to talk about that. Interesting.
And then decided it's time to compile the album. I looked at all the different songs that I had. Some of them were, like I said, from early to mid 2000s, 2004, 2005, and 6. Some of them from 2013, 2014, 2016. And I just thought, you know, I think it's time to put the album together. And it was kind of hard to, you know, to decide which songs will work best as one entity. It had to tell a story, and there was 2 or 3 other songs I wanted to include, but were number one. I ran out of time. There's you know, you have to set a date and you say, this is when I'm done.
That's it. Yeah.
Otherwise you never, because I started doing that 20 something years ago, and because I didn't set a date, it's always like postponed and postponed.
That's good to do that.
So I made a deadline, and along with Devo, and I had to come to terms that some songs are not going to fit an album, and some songs are just not going to be in time, and they might go on another album or separate releases or whatever. They will probably stand on their own better than they would stand with the album. But this album has a very specific flow for me.
It does, yeah.
And
I listened to it yesterday.
The sounds that you're talking about, that's kind of like, I had to find songs that kind of like match not only the story but tonality wise with each other, because my original song is much heavier, much more raw, and I mean, there's this hint of jazz,
there is a hint of jazz in it, and it's incredible. What's interesting for me is the whole album is about a breakup.
3 different ones.
And then there's this resolution, and then it's like, the realization. After a while, you're going, I have never been there before in my life, by the way. I don't know what you're talking about. It's good. That was the joke. But, so one really resonates, it resonates with one. But you're kind of thinking, the fact that you're talking about, or that you're singing about such painful stuff in this beautiful, smooth way, it's actually complimentary to the woman.
I honestly, there's when I try to write, I try to be very honest, and I know it's in a simple way, not try to get over people's heads with try to be clever words or whatever. It's not even trying to rhyme much that was behind some of the writing. It's just trying to make some sense. And because my first language isn't English, then my writing is very down to earth and very honest. And one of the reasons why some of the songs also took many years to compile is because my English got better, and I wanted to approach some of the stuff not like a poet, but just better English. The thing is, it's at the end of the day, and I have to say it's another form of like kind of like, I don't want to use the word validation too much, but for most of my years as a professional musician, I carried my ghosts and my demons with me. I was under the impression, both by my own insecurities and both by things that were told to me by guys that were intimidated by me, that I can't sing properly, I can't write properly, so things take a while, and at some point you got to wake up and go, this is me. And when you do covers, the problem with doing covers is you are constantly comparing yourself, and you are being compared to the original. So, and to some degree, at a certain point, quite a while ago, I started doing covers in a different way than I didn't try to imitate the original too much, especially with the singing, because and I also started singing into my 20s. It's very, very late. So my voice took years to develop. So, before I found myself, it took a long, long time. And even though I always wanted to be heavier, and I am a heavy, well, not a heavy, but
on
I mean
the inside maybe. But
it's I mean, I've got a certain sound when I'm singing, and if you go and listen to some of my other work, there's stuff that I'm pushing my vocals in a different direction completely, and my sound in a completely direction. But when it comes to, I mean, this is this album is a huge part of my heart. And my heart being broken by my own doing as well. It's not necessarily, I can't point fingers at
no, one never can, you can't, but
but it's the final result is that my heart was broken, and the album had to take shape that is softer. It couldn't be this, it couldn't have this razor edge kind of like
Rage Against the Machine.
It couldn't do that.
Well, it didn't. It's a beautiful album, and it's nice to listen to it from beginning
thank you
to end.
So this is my only album, besides the EP that I've done back in the day.
Yes, the Glow one.
So Glow was
Just give me the names of the album names. It's Goodbye My Love. Just give them to me in order.
So Goodbye My Love is the only album I've got.
Yeah, Goodbye My Love is a song as well. It starts with that.
That's
the one that starts with a piano. Am I correct?
That's the last one.
Yes.
That's the last one.
I listened to it as the first one.
Well, that's fine.
Because I couldn't stop listening to it. Yesterday I listened to it 3 times. Goodbye My Love.
The album takes you in circles around.
It does.
My state of mind.
It's not really, because even if you go on YouTube and you listen, then it goes Goodbye My Love and something about the sky, and I'm like, so it starts very much like gentle and then it explodes again. So it was interesting. But just give me the title so I can tell you what's my favorite song.
Of the songs of the album?
Yes. Of the 8. Yes, the 8.
Okay, so I've got Without You.
Because I can just remember. Yes.
I've got...
Without You is beautiful.
Then I've got Need You.
Yeah.
Then I've got Calling.
Yes.
Then I've got Every Time You're Gone. Then I've got Maybe Baby. Then I've got Crazy.
Crazy is probably one of my favorite tracks on the album. But I can relate to it.
Thank you.
An
old song, very old song. It's probably 2005 or 6 that I wrote the song.
It's probably my favorite on the album.
Actually, that song specifically on the album, the production on that was done quite... I think I had 2 demos and then a final production, and that was done, I think, in 2012 or 2013.
Beautiful.
And then when I sat down, and I only had to do the vocals and something else, I think maybe some of the strings I had to redo. And that song was a big fight for me to mix.
Okay.
Because when I recorded the demo 2005 or whenever, I didn't bother too much with the production. It was just straightforward. And then when I sat down to record the production again, I just kind of like copycatted, just did it better, what I did on the demo. And then I haven't touched the song until I did the vocals. It was either early this year or late last year. And then that was the one song that I was like grinding my teeth trying to mix it. And eventually I called my buddy Paul, also from Watershed. He's a very good friend of mine. And he's a great studio producer and mixer. And I said, Paul, you got to come and help me out on this. So he sat in this chair and he kind of like tweaked the 80%, and then he said, how's that? And I went, and I put the rest of the puzzle together. That song actually was chaos for me.
It's my favorite.
And it's the only song also that has a fade out.
Yes.
I mean, how long ago did you hear a song with a fade out?
No, back in the 80s, 90s. It's got a fade out.
20-year-old song with a 20-year-old approach. I wouldn't even think how would I end the song otherwise. I just left it with a fade out.
I listened to it again yesterday, so I Need You is also good, but I just want to compliment you on that song. And it often happens to me. I listen to an entire album, then I get stuck. I get stuck on a song. It's like Division Bell, all right? Lost for Words on the album Division Bell. Now, if you tell me, all right, Hanlé, do you love Division Bells? I love Division Bell. But I actually love Lost for Words. And it depends what song resonates with you, doesn't it?
It's
Crazy is
for me it was High Hopes. I performed the song. I've never heard any one-man band do High Hopes before.
High Hopes is hectic.
I had to sit and replicate the song one for one, almost one for one. It's such a difficult song to do, and I mean it's a hard song.
Very intricate.
Yeah.
Are you going to? I'm glad that you're sticking with the sound. That you are doing this sound. I think it's a needed sound at the moment, and I think that it's very viable. It's in South Africa and abroad. I'm glad you found it.
Yeah,
you don't always find it, hey.
A lot of people ask me what do I gun for when I actually have no clue. It just it has to flow.
Yes.
You know, when I write a song, I'm busy working now on my next album, which will be a much more true to my live performance, kind of like a bit more hardcore, not necessarily heavy, but a bit more alternative rock, a bit more modern sounding.
Yes.
And the specific song called Voices, I'm now on the 4th version, and every time, and I go back, no, that last one was better, no, the next one was better. I mean, and eventually what I do is, when I debate so much about something, I just go with what was naturally came out, and I usually go back to version number 1. That whatever flowed naturally out of me.
Okay, so you go back to the original first.
I don't know how other people write and produce.
Yes.
I only know how I do it. And when I try to be clever, it's something doesn't gel.
Straight
but if I let it flow without me questioning what was that, it just happens, then it's a bit more organic and a bit more natural. And just let it, I just let things flow out of me, and hopefully it works.
I can't wait to hear it. Goodbye My Love is a beautiful love letter that you've written, and one that I think, it is. It's one of your favorites, and I look forward to hearing your new music as well.
Thank you.
It's going to go from this very smooth transgression to, as you call it,
there's a hint of what's coming. I released a cover for an old Nirvana song.
Oh, you did? Yes, I was sent that. Yes.
So it's called As a Friend. I mean, when I release a cover, I try to come up with a name that would be a little different than the original name, not just Come As You Are, cover by Sheron. So As a Friend is a very it appears a lot in the song. So I called it As a Friend, and it might be on the far extreme of my heavy side.
Okay.
But it will give you kind of an indication of when I mean heavier and a bit more modern, what I mean. And obviously, if you listen to songs like Darling,
yes,
that was released last year, that it's got a lot of hints of modern pop rock with some synths and some loops and some stuff, that it's not just straight guitars or whatever. So all of those kind of is going to go into the album, with some new songs and some very old songs as well.
Those old songs we haven't heard all of your old songs. That's in your library. So best you bring them out.
There's like I said, with this album, songs off the album that were just, I've got another failed love song that are written, it was I think 2003, that was just too hard for this album. So it's going to come out as a rock ballad, a heavier rock. I would equate it to My Sacrifice from Creed.
Oh, beautiful! Because it didn't fit in the album. It didn't fit on the specific album.
It would have been completely detached from what I needed a flow. It just wouldn't have flown.
No, it wouldn't have, because that's what I love the most about the album, is that there is that flow, and that you're strict with yourself, which songs suit the album and which ones doesn't. And the hip hop you're doing, you collaborated with your son, which is quite interesting.
He missed call me now, and obviously we're in the middle of interviews. So Daniel is turning, he's turning 24 now, and he came up to me like just before COVID, and he said, I want to do some. He's always been into hip hop, and I was into hip hop back in the day. We're talking about LL Cool J and Cop Killer and all that kind of stuff, Run DMC and Beastie Boys and all that kind of stuff.
Beastie Boys.
All the great stuff, And he's like into hip hop, and he said during COVID on his iPhone, recording with GarageBand with that headset that comes with the iPhone, that was his monitors and the mic, and he's got probably about 50 odd songs on all the social media stuff on Spotify and all that, got 4 million plays.
Well done.
He's doing so well. I'm so proud of him. And then we've been talking about doing a song together for some time. And he actually lived in Cape Town for a few months, went there to work. And when he came back, I said to him, I think it's time. And he came back and we wrote together. We sit on the couch here behind me and wrote Every Time You're Gone on the spot. Literally within a couple of hours, the song had already taken shape. And the next day it was done.
It works. That's quick.
It's I'm very proud, and he was like so quick with the lyrics, and he was and he was very shy because it's his first time, because he's used to kind of like locking himself up in his room and all alone with his phone, and suddenly now he's sitting here and I got the big mic here, and I was like, come on, there's do it. And he was like, what do I do now? And I said, just I'm not going to tell you again. Cue, let's go. And he just clapped it. He just clapped it. And he's done it. I think he might have done 2 takes on that song.
It's amazing when a father and son works together. I know Neil Breitenbach from Prime Circle also worked with JC Breitenbach, and they started a band. So it's always interesting for me how it works incredibly well at the end of the day. When
I heard the stuff. It's very good stuff.
When father and son works together. And I hope you guys do more tracks together.
We're definitely planning on to. He stays in Pretoria. I'm in Midrand, so it's 25 minutes away. He's a bar manager, so it's he works crazy hours. We are in the process of planning a video shoot for the song.
You should. That'd be amazing.
And so the plan was to drive down to Durban to do the shoot with a friend of mine, the friend that helped me with the video for I Know and the video for Need You. Unfortunately, Daniel can't take off from work, so crew of us will have to fly up here next month, and we kind of have to schedule all the shooting around Daniel's availability.
Yes.
But we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice process, and I hope the video does as justice as to the song.
I do hope you come to Cape Town and perform the entire Goodbye My Love. Have you performed it as an album before, in its entirety?
No. So I need to create. I get questions for that all the time. What happened is I was under such time duress to finish this album, and I had 2 other projects. I got a client in Cape Town. We do a lot of ad hoc work, so we just worked. So keep on bumping this. We try to do at least 1 or 2 days a week. When he taps into my studio from his studio
cool.
Through a website called Lendar, Left and Right. They're also my publishers, Lendar. And he kind of like we sit with the cameras on, and he's got I stream high quality audio to him, and then he gives me immediate feedback on the demos that he sends me, and I start producing. So I have songs with him that I have to do. It was my album, and then I got another local client here called Charlie that I work with, also a wonderful artist. And so when I finished the album, I just shut down.
I'm sure.
I just shut down, and I only got back to work in the studio properly last week. So I need to get back to the album and do backtracks basically take the recordings and turn them into backtracks, remove the vocals and the guitars. But I mean, there's 2 songs on the album that I previously released. So it's Need You and I Know that I got tracks for. For all the other songs that I have is Glow and Darling and
Crazy.
It's coming. So I think it's also been crazy. It's been really chaotic and crazy the last couple of weeks with other things and gigs and stuff. But I think once I finish this video shoot, I'll go back and I'll convert all the songs into tracks, and then I'll start performing some songs from the album. I'm looking forward.
That's amazing. I'm gonna put the links obviously in the comments below, and I hope to chat to you again in Maybe 2 or 3 months, and we see how that new album is going.
Anytime. Well, the album will only be next year. I do have a couple of songs already finished. Maybe they need some tweaking, maybe they need some mixing, but the rest of the stuff is still it's other new songs that I need to do the production, or old songs that I need to bring into today's quality. And there will be songs that probably hasn't been written yet. I mean, I write all the time.
You do write all the time. Yes.
I sit in my car. I just start either on my phone or my watch.
Yes.
I start the recorder, and I go la 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 la. And if I'm the other day I write, I think half of my songs I wrote in the shower.
In the shower.
Yeah. So I like I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was again, something was like brewing while I'm busy washing my hair, and I was like, okay, wait. So I put on my robe, and I come here like dribbling, switch on my phone, and I put on the piano, and I'm like, whatever I wanted to hear, and kind of it's on my phone. I need to find it and then do something with it.
Listen, that piano in front of you.
Yes.
Are you going to sing me goodbye? Sing goodbye. Just a bit of crazy.
Funny enough is I'm not going to sing the whole song now, but
okay.
My voice is still not awake as well.
No, whose is this time of day?
People often ask me if I actually play the piano. So a lot of people ask me if I actually play the piano on the song, because I think I cheated.
It makes me sad. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I can't show you the piano, and if I drop the camera,
no, don't drop the camera on your lap. No.
But I have to take off one of my in-ears because I can't hear myself. I'm going to sound really, when my voice isn't working up, I sound like Barry White.
Well, it doesn't. Oh, I like Barry White.
I never wanted this one and final kiss. I never thought that you'd get over me. So if you want me and need me, you'll never say goodbye, my love, goodbye. I'm going to end. Goodbye, my love, goodbye.
Goodbye, my love, goodbye. Sheron, thank you very much. Look, I've got goose flesh. Can you see?
Is it? I see you in not in 4K, sadly.
It's beautiful. Thank you very much for Goodbye, My Love.
It's one of the songs that I'm battling to remember how it came to life. Like Calling, I remember Calling.
Yes.
That's the single of the album. I wrote it. We were doing. I joined a band for a limited amount of time, and we were setting up at a venue called Firkin in Victoria, in Centurion. And I was just mucking around with the guitar tone, trying to get the amp sound, whatever. And that's what came out. I was busy with that little riff that came out. And I went, hold on a second. And I think I had one of those first Sony Ericsson phones that could record.
Yeah.
And I kind of like just put the phone next to the amp, and I recorded that. And when I got home from the gig, I immediately sat in the studio and I said, I got to put it down because, and at the same time, that specific week or whatever, the lady I was with for 10 years in total, we had a little fallout, and she went and stayed with friends for a week or two. And and that's why it says, if it had to be this way for the rest of my life, and I never get to wake with you right here by my side. That's what kind of the first thing that came up to mind, because she wasn't there.
Yes. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful song. What a profound muse you had.
And I mean, the song specifically speaks about having some kind of telepathical, whatever you say it,
kind of foresight, kind of feeling.
we had a good connection, this lady and I, and like a spiritual connection. And it's like if she thought about me, I would know, and if I thought about her, that she knew. And that song speaks about it. That's why I say I'm calling. It was yeah, like I said, my journey has been that, you know, just honest, to talk about my feelings, talk about what I've experienced, what I think I caused my partner to experience, you know, and how it's kind of like inflicted onto me, you know, and how I should have and have grown over the years and become a different not a different person per se, but you know, if you're aware of yourself,
yes,
you know, then you know what to work on yourself. So
that's intelligence,
you know. And the thing is, it's at the end of the day, and this is something that's, I mean, the album spans more than 20 years, 3 ladies. You know, there's 3 very long relationships in total, and the same was it's like insanity. Everything repeats. Different people, everything repeats.
Yeah.
So it's number one, what I attract to myself. So obviously I attracted back in the day a certain type of person, a certain type of partner, and obviously what I bring to the table has been the same. So
is your next album going to be a different attraction?
So first, yeah, well, I swore to never write another failed love song in my life.
They say never date a guitarist because he's going to write a song about you when you break up. So
I've got so many, and you know, at the end of the day, it's also been my closure. This album has been my closure, and without, you know, it's been very, very difficult throughout, and with all 3 ladies, but the last one has been the one that was the hardest, and the one that brought the most change as well in me, where I see myself in a different light. And it's not only what you bring to the table or what you don't bring to the table, it's what you allow in your life. Due to how you feel about yourself. It's very, very important. You know, we all say, oh, she broke my heart. It's not only that, it's I allowed that to happen. You know, I allowed certain things in my life that under different circumstances and different enlightenment, I wouldn't have. So, you know, it's all about lessons. I mean, I started seeing a life coach that had an amazing effect on me, and just seeing myself for myself. You know?
Yes, exactly. And I think it's like they call it catharsis, kind of writing about something and getting a feeling. It's kind of a release. It's this beautiful song. I can't remember who wrote it. Won't you be my number 2? Me and number 1 are through. It's a beautiful song. You must listen to it.
I would definitely look it up.
Please do, because it's a beautiful, beautiful song. And I think every single song, especially Crazy, and Goodbye My Love, which is I think the signature of it, and The Resolution, is a beautiful album, one that you can feel very proud of. And thank you for sharing your heart with us.
Thank you.
Today.
Thank you for having me.
And I look forward to chatting to you again. Thank you for touching my heart. I appreciate it. The wonderful Sheron. Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bless you too.
Bye-bye.
And I'll definitely will get in touch if I come to Cape Town again.
Please do. And I'll chat to you again in a few months.
We'll grab a coffee or something.
We'll grab a cup of coffee, and you'll serenade to all the ladies that complain about you being too loud. But they can't complain about Goodbye My Love because it's not too loud.
You're being too loud, huh?
Being too loud.
Huh?
Thank you, Sheron. Blessings to you. Chat again to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.